All right, the Clash of Champions. Let's start off with the kickoff show. Now, why is Booker T rooting for a retribution destruction there at the Clash of Champions? And most especially towards Charlie Caruso. And what is the obsession with Booker and his hate on Charlie Caruso? I mean, in this day and age, right? He shouldn't be wishing violence on a woman, even if it is in jest or joking. Like, there's a thing going on between them. She'd say something and then he would say something so condescending to her. It's like, are they trying to have like a feud or rivalry on the kickoff show too? Because they're such losers, all of them. Because they all suck. They all fucking sound stupid. I like Charlie Caruso, you know. But it's like when she's there, she has to put up with her, with with Booker T, JBL, and Peter Rosenberg or Paul Rosenberg or Pedro Rosenberg or whatever his name is. I know his name. I'm just. But why? Now, they announced that Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, as well as Nikki Cross, have not been medically cleared, so they are out of the pay-per-view. And the tag team match situation will be addressed on Raw, and Bayley will talk about the SmackDown Women's title situation later on. Now, the only match on the kickoff show is the SmackDown Tag Team title match. It ends in a swing by Cesaro into a Kinshasa by Nakamura for the pin, and the champs retain, and still your SmackDown Tag Team champs, Cesaro and Nakamura. And at least they didn't show more tension between the Lucha House Party, because who gives a shit? Nobody cares about that team and them breaking up. As a team, they're fine, they're perfect, okay, they're good. Well, they're okay, but don't lean into something that's going to lead into, oh my god, let's say Dorado and and Kalisto in a rivalry or a feud. Is that really going to do anything? Yeah, leave it. Yeah, on 205 Live maybe. But now let's go to the main show. Triple threat match. Determine an undisputed Intercontinental Champion. A champion Jeff Hardy versus AJ Styles versus the self-proclaimed real IC champ Sami Zayn. And Graves, I swear, he needs to really needs to shut the fuck up sometimes. He's here defending Zayn and his claims of being the IC champ because he never really lost it. Well, Corey, there are rules, and you have to defend the title. And Sami did take a 6-month hiatus, didn't he? What are you gonna do? Just wait for him to come back? If he ever was gonna come back? And this latter match may have as well be called the Jeff Hardy Demolition Derby, as he was caught in a ladder in vicious, violent ways. There was one where it folded on him, like he was trying to climb down, as you know how when they usually push you over, and he's trying to go on the other side, and then the ladder fell off to the side, and then the ladder came down on him, and he was wrapped inside, and he could have easily gotten hurt. So it's like, Hardy is like at his age, he's trying to take these type of bumps that he used to take when he was younger. I don't know if it's smart to do that, Jeff. But now, Hardy does the Swanton Bomb, this is later in the match, onto a prone Sami Zayn while he lays on the ladder, and he crashes through him. Very sick spot, and something that makes you cringe, because it's like, it's like every time, especially with Jeff, like you feel for the guy, because it's just like, dude, you're taking these risks. But I gotta tell you, man, these 3 men are really putting themselves through all kinds of pain just to become the undisputed champ. The right to be named the undisputed Intercontinental Champion. And in a clever yet possibly sick move, Sami handcuffs or ear cuffs Jeff's earlobe to the ladder. You thought that Randy Orton putting his finger through that hole in his lobe and pulling on it was sick enough. This one was. It could have easily, if Jeff Hardy, if he would have left, if that ladder would have gotten hit, or if he would have dropped it or whatever, it would have ripped the damn lobe off of his ear. Now, he handcuffs AJ to the ladder, and then then what happens is that AJ has to firemen's carry him pretty much up the ladder, and then what happens is Sami is able to uncuff himself, and then cuffs to the ladder, and then he's able to climb the ladder, and he's able to bring down both belts. And Sami Zayn is your new undisputed Intercontinental Champion. And Jeff Hardy before this he got into the ring with that thing still in his ear. And I'm just thinking, and I don't know how many people thought, people were thinking, and I know I was thinking definitely, is, AJ, Sami, don't fall off the ladder, don't kick the ladder that Jeff's holding, because if you do, there goes his ear. That's all I kept thinking that one part. But very good match, very good ladder match. Really good, you see some same spots and stuff like that, but a lot of clever, a lot of like real creativity, and these guys really gelled well in this match. They all did what they needed to do to kind of make it a, not so rudimentary, we've seen that before type of ladder match. It was actually really good, very physical, and like I said, you felt for Jeff Hardy in so many ways in this match. Now, the Raw Women's Title match, Zelena Vega challenges the champ Asuka, and Vega is hanging with the Empress and showing some of what she has to offer, but is it enough to take the gold from Asuka? Well, she does show her fundamental skills with her limb targeting on Asuka's arm and puts her into an armbar, but Asuka reverses it into an attempted Asuka lock. Zelena puts together an impressive offensive display and gets a near fall on the champ, but after a series of pinfall attempts and reversals, Asuka gets the Asuka lock on Vega and taps her out. And still, of course, Asuka, she is still your Raw Women's Champion, but Asuka does give Vega props and calls her a firecracker and dangerous as she is being interviewed. She then extends her hand out to shake with Vega. She refuses, but instead bows. I'm thinking, oh wow, some respect. Then, when Asuka bows, well, Vega attacks her, and it only brings out the ire of the champion. So she's asked out. Her luck is didn't really go her way, and Zelena Vega is gonna. I don't know where she goes from here. Maybe she'll have another shot. Now, Lashley versus Cruz with the U.S. title on the line. Let's get to the conclusion, and wouldn't you know, nothing different. The outcome is the same. Cruz taps to the Hurt Lock, and Ashley is still your U.S. champ. The Raw Tag Team titles are on the line next. Your challengers are Garza and Andrade versus the Tag Champs, the Street Profits, and these two teams who know each other so well are putting on a tag team clinic and displaying their incredible offensive moves. And what the hell? The official blew the official blew the call as we see a kick out by Andrade as the 3 count still comes down. And the Profits remain the Raw Tag Team Champions, and this is yet another what the hell type of an ending, like with the Raw Women's Championship with Asuka and Mickie James. Like, what was their point in doing this? Why are they doing this? Like, it just seems like they're trying to, I don't know what they're trying to do. Like, another fucked finish, another so that means that they're going to continue Garza and Andrade going after the titles. I mean, it's getting old now. I think there's other teams, right? You would think. Well, I would hope. I don't think there are really that many tag teams. They keep breaking them up. They keep putting all these random guys together. They make the other guy go out somewhere else, and I mean, what's going on? Now there is like a promo, and it's the 2020 WWE draft. It's going to go over 2 days, and it starts on Smackdown on October 9th, and then it finishes on Raw October the 12th. And everybody is up for grabs. I'm pretty sure it means NXT too, because they did that before, but I think they only have like maybe 4 picks or 4 people that will come over to wherever brand, Raw or Smackdown. Now, oh, I forgot to kind of pass that over, but 24/7 champ R-Truth and Drew Gulak pins him, and your new champ is Gulak. R-Truth was Gold Rush, so he was dressed up as a miner or a 49er, and his shoes were number 9, how was, but he was all dressed up with a beard and like a shirt that looks like Mick Foley's one of his shirts and stuff like that. Usual looking miner type of character that pants for gold and all that. And he got pinned by Gulak. And then later on backstage, Gulak gets got and is pinned by R-Truth, who becomes the 24/7 champ for the 100th time. To quote Michael Cole, and I echo there. How many times is he going to be the champion? Why are they continually putting it back on him? Why do they have the Universal Championship? I mean, the 24/7 title. Why do they still have that title if this is going to be a joke? I mean, it's a joke to begin with, but they can have fun with it. At least the hardcore title lasted a bit longer, and it really didn't lose its luster that quickly. But 24/7 championship is just like, The reason why I think the title is useless because it caused Ember Moon to get injured and possibly not ever return to wrestling because she was running around going after a who gives a shit title, a useless title, and they didn't use her in the Raw title picture for the women's title or the Smackdown women's title picture, making her run around after a useless title and she gets injured, and possibly she's no longer going to ever return to wrestling. Real good WWE. Said that in the past, and I'm always going to say that. Now, the SmackDown Women's Champ, in her 349th day as the champ, walks down that rampway to address the title situation since Nikki wasn't medically cleared. And she comes out all cocky and annoying as usual. And tonight she puts out a challenge to anyone to challenge her, and please have it be an NXT superstar making her debut. I would have dug that. But it's the reigning Raw Women's Champ, Asuka, and the match is on, and Asuka is looking to become a double champ. Asuka's all over Bayley, and will she be too much for the SmackDown Women's Champ? And Graves saying it isn't fair for Bayley to have this match. She wasn't when she was prepared for Nikki Cross. Bayley made the open challenge. He needs to shut the fuck up. Sometimes, It makes sense when he complains like a little bitch. It's like you can complain about things, but he's saying stuff and it's already been set. There's already rules there, or it's already been predetermined that's going to happen, and why are you complaining about it? Is that your character? You always want to whine and bitch and complain? I mean, I know he's trying to be that pseudo heel commentator, but it really sometimes it's like, check your notes. I mean, aren't you allowed to do a little bit of changes here, or maybe just make it? I don't think they are. Vince McMahon will probably have a coronary if he found out that they changed lines and shit, but. Really annoying. It really is. It's like you're complaining about that when she made the open challenge. It's not fair to her, But of course, a fucked finish, and she gets herself DQ'd by using a steel chair. And speaking of steel chairs, Sasha Banks blasts Bayley with a steel chair of her own. And Graves again opens his stupid mouth and cries that Bayley is all hurt and the chair shot wasn't right. Shut up! You whining bitch. You're complaining about that. You know the history between the two? You know that they've been trading chair shots, and now Bayley actually put Sasha's head in between the chair and practically almost crushed her larynx by jumping on the damn chair. You think Sasha's just gonna lay back and not do nothing? And there you are, complaining again. And then, inside the ring, and Kendo shots on Bayley, and it must feel good for the former best friend of Sasha. Bayley gets out of harm's way, and is this the start of a path to their ultimate showdown? Perhaps for the SmackDown Women's title on the line. I can only see that happening. Don't even think that Nikki will get her title shot. She might get it on on Friday, or when she gets cleared. But now, let's move on to the first of two main events. I mean, I pretty much consider both of these main events the world title matches. The first one is the ambulance match for the WWE title match, and that is Mcintyre versus Orton, Sky the Psychopath versus the Apex Predator, and a lot of history in the short time these two men have, despite only having been battling one another for only the past few months. And the intensity can be seen in the tension in the air to be cut with a knife. And this title match will perhaps be the match of the night, but we still have the Reigns versus Uso Universal title match in the main event, or the second main event, or co-main event. They didn't really say if that was the main event or if this was the first of two main events, but I actually consider both of them. They actually were both matches that definitely end the evening. But champ sets the pace and dominates the challenger, but a low blow by the Viper using the middle ropes turns the tide in Orton's way. And as Orton sets up for the punt kick, he is stopped by the Big Show, who puts him through the announcer's table with a massive chokeslam, and this leaves an opening for McIntyre, who proceeds to dissect the challenger and smiles as he punishes Orton. And now he carries Orton on his shoulders and lawn darts him into the rear of the ambulance, and he retrieves, crushes, and a steel chair. But Orton stops the champ with a crutch shot, and now Orton is in control. But both men end up in the ambulance, but only one man needs to be placed in it. But both are now outside, and this match is not over just yet. Now Orton receives a Glasgow kiss and narrowly avoids a claymore that takes out the ambulance door. Back in catering, and Christian gets a piece of it, and Karma is looking to take a bite out of Orton's ass. We're back at the ambulance, and Orton slams McIntyre onto the windshield, and he goes for the pin. Out of instinct, he went for the pin. I'm looking at him, he's sliding down, and I'm going, what are you doing, Orton? This is not a regular match, or false count anywhere. And both these men are just destroying each other. And on top of the ambulance, and we see Orton on the receiving end of a sweet chin music by HBK, and then he tosses Orton to the floor below. And as Drew attempts to carry Orton to the ambulance, Orton hits the RKO, and Orton places Drew in the ambulance, but the champ is not out. And on the outside delivers a claymore and puts him in there. About to close the door, he doesn't. He puts him right in position, and he nails him with a punt kick, and then he closes both doors. And still your WWE champion is Drew McIntyre. And then we see someone behind the wheel of the ambulance, and it's none other than the Nature Boy Ric Flair. And I tell you what, an ambulance match. I think Ric Flair, I'm trying to remember what he said, but I think he said that. I think I'll try to obey the speed limit, something like that. But I'm pretty sure that's what he said, because why would he say, I want to obey the speed limit? I'm pretty sure he meant that sarcasm, because you know what that is. You know what happened with Rick. So he's going to definitely get a little bit of a joy out of driving Randy Orton, possibly taking a scenic route to take him to the ambulance, to the hospital. Now, the Universal title match. Cousin versus cousin, family versus family. It's Reigns versus Jimmy or Jay Uso. Now about this little tidbit, Corey Graves stated that when he asked Roman who impressed him when he was away, he had no answer. He feels he's the reason why Smackdown and WWE is where it is. Pretty much it revolves around him. And as the bell rings, Jey Uso starts talking, and Roman just stares a hole through Jey. He is stoic. He just powers through his cousin Jey, and Jey is all charisma and taunts Reigns with his antics and pop blocking, all mind games from Uso. And all along, these two are just jawing each other. And I can just imagine it being just like how it was when they were kids and competing on the football field. Now Reigns is heard telling Jey he is the tribal chief and head of the table and is talking him down, almost insulting his cousin. Will this match be one-sided and turn into a boring Brock Lesnar-like match where one man is dominating the whole match and ends up winning the match? But Jey gets back into the match and gets a Jey gets back into the match and gets a near fall after hitting the Samoan drop, but an attempted hip attack, and Reigns connects with a monstrous Superman punch. And is this where the inevitable conclusion comes? But on the outside, they trade blows, but Jey is knocked down by a right hand, and on the inside, Roman gets a near fall. I told you to take the payday, says Reigns, or take this whooping, this ass whooping. You should have just laid down, says Reigns to his cousin Jey. You're trying to level up, I live at this level, have been at this level. But Jay is a gamer and shows his heart, and as Reigns is outside, he hits the suicide dive, and inside connects with a stiff kick, and again he hits another suicide dive. Back on the inside, and Jay lands a high cross body but a near fall, and man, Jay is looking good at this point, but for how long? Now Jay hits a splash, but Roman kicks out, and inadvertently or not, Roman manages to low blow Jay as he kicks out, and then you see a smile on his face, so maybe it wasn't inadvertent. And then he connects with a spear. Call me chief, acknowledge me as your tribal chief. Then Reigns hits another spear after Jay says no. Into the camera, Reigns wants the challenger to call him the tribal chief, the head of the table. I feed your family, and while Jay says not today, he had him down, and he said what he said, Reigns said, and then Jay just goes, not today. He was smiling. He's getting beaten to a pulp. He was getting beaten like he stole something, and he was still smiling, and he was like, not today. I ain't calling you tribal chief, head of the table. Roman is all talk, but he is backing it up, and even back talks the ref. He says, I'll have your job. You won't have a job if you do anything to stop this match. And he continues to batter his cut. Then Jimmy comes down and looks to throw the towel in, and Roman tells Jimmy to call him the head of the table. He hesitates, and then Roman batters Jay some more, and then Jimmy has no choice but to throw in the towel. Jimmy's in there, and he proclaims to Reigns that, yeah, you're the chief. Says, you need to chill. It's like, we're family. What are you doing? And if this is how Reigns treats his own family, how much more will he treat anybody who will dare challenge him? And then we see Clash of Champions end. And what a pay-per-view it was. It was definitely well done. The two title matches, the world title matches, were very well done. I think the edge goes to the ambulance match. But I liked both matches. They had individual things that made the match maybe better than the other. But it's just, wow, maybe I'll take that back. I don't know, because I can't really say which one was the better match, But if I had to choose, I say the ambulance match edges it out just a little bit. It doesn't make the Universal title match any lesser. It's probably one of the best matches for that title, and I hope that they continue this storyline. I hope because you gotta remember, Jay didn't really tap out. He didn't get pinned. He didn't get counted out. He didn't get disqualified. Towel was thrown in. Referee had no choice but to call it off and reward it to Roman Reigns. But Jey Uso proved that he definitely is a singles competitor. You just have to keep pushing him as a single star. I mean, Jimmy looked good. He was limping a little bit, but who knows if he's going to come back and they're going to be a tag team. Maybe they're going to put Jay, because it's upcoming is the is the draft. They might put Jimmy on another brand. They might separate them, and then give Jay a little bit of a run and see what he can do as a singles competitor. That's always a good thing to do. But like I said, I pretty much liked every match. I think every match there were some matches that were okay, some were decent, some were good, and then both world title matches were great. They were well done, great storytelling, and I liked the build up that led up to the matches tonight. Even though there's just a little bit of build up for the Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, but because of their history and we know what it's all about with them, their family, they grow up together. So that right there, it's like feels like it's a long build up, because we already know they go way back. We all go way back with them when it comes to their story. We know where they come from, their family and everything. But it's great. I don't know if Randy Orton's going to continue going after the title. He might not. And who's going to be Drew McIntyre's next opponents? I don't know. I just don't know. You gotta wait and see. But anyway, that's my video for my rundown and thoughts for Clash of Champions Gold Rush 2020. So for those of you who stopped by and checked it out, I appreciate it. And in closing, as always, take care.